There it is. Hi, how are you? It is just prior to the end of the year, 2018, and I just thought I'd start making a video. And right on cue, since I start talking to the machine, my dog goes frantically around trying to talk to me and telling me that, she needs to have some attention, don't you? Yes, you do. Okay, so look at what I got today. This is awesome. Wrapping presents? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This, of course, I go through this argument every single year. We should really reduce the amount of things that we buy. We live in a world of abundance. At least some of us do. And everything is just so accessible, and all the plastic wrapping and everything. And oh, it's just horrible. And then we buy more plastic and all this. It just happens every single year, doesn't it? Yep, it does. Okay, so here we go. This wrapping paper has a Canadian theme to it, and I thought, oh, I gotta share that with you. Christmas wrapping paper with a Canadian theme. As if. So, had to buy it, had to promote that. And this just wouldn't work without a cup of tea, so here we are from Ontario, and I just thought, it might be a really, really cool idea to do a video where I talk to you about some of the things that I've thought of, I've learned over the year, and as I'm wrapping up some gifts, because today is the 22nd, and in 3 days it's Christmas, and is that late shopping? Is that late? No, I procrastinated all this time because I thought that I had done enough shopping. And apparently I was mistaken, because today I just went out to get some wrapping paper and I ended up spending a lot of money. Anyway, so to add on to the gifts that I had bought before, I'm going to wrap these things up and just chat with you. So there's this new feature on YouTube where I'm just unwrapping this if you're wondering what I'm doing. There's no way that I can actually show you what I'm doing and show me. And because I don't have a cell phone, I have my laptop. So my laptop has of course it's hard to angle a laptop to show you what I'm doing on a table. So suffice it to say, I'm going to make this video and I'm going to edit it, even if it takes me 2 hours to do my wrapping or however long, it might end up being a 12-minute video. I don't know how it's going to end up. I might not even post it. We'll see. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, today's the 22nd. And, there's more. Okay, no, this is a waste. To wrap each one individually after you've wrapped the whole lot. Whatever. Isn't there like a biodegradable kind of, those composting bags? That, and they are biodegradable. So why are only composting bags the things that are wrapping up our Christmas, any products? Biodegradable stuff. Why did I buy this? Okay, so put that aside. Today's the 22nd, and yesterday I went to a powwow. I woke up in the morning not knowing about the powwow, and then I was invited, and had to go. Just had to go. It was so awesome. There was a school bus leaving from one location and going out of town to another location, which is where the powwow was. And I just love, let me just tell you, I just love the way that the Indigenous community relate to each other. I enjoy that. And at this Christmas time, at this sort of season where we remind each other of what is really, really important, loving each other and family and your close friends and all this sort of stuff. And then I see myself thinking that we should be that way a lot of the year and trying to be that way a lot of the year, just because I pursue my own ideas of spirituality and social, sort of my responsibility to other people, my social responsibility to other people to be good, and and then I go and buy all this plastic and harm the environment. I don't know. It's just sort of I feel humbled that there are communities, not just Indigenous, but there are communities of people who really, really focus on each other. And I would like to be more like that. I really would. So, yeah, this week has been kind of, look at this. This week has been pretty busy for me. Like last Saturday, I went to a water ceremony. And then yesterday was the powwow. And the night before was the full moon ceremony. Because this year we had solstice yesterday and the full moon happening all at the same time, which is really kind of energetically powerful. So here, look at this. Polar bears. Polar bears. I just had to get a caption of that. You know, if you're going to make wrapping paper for the world and export it, make it Canadian. It's beautiful. I'm so thrilled. Look at this one. This one has like little squirrels. I'm going to do some decoupage and collage and stuff. Like I'm going to use these images in my grimoire because just have to. So I went and bought like a whole bunch of stuff from the Buck store. I'm going to tell you a story. This is going to be something that I give to my girls, but this is going to come with a story. When I was very young, oh yeah, okay, wait. 2 stories. Okay, first of all, I started telling you a little bit earlier, there's a special feature on YouTube, and then you can sort of pre-record and edit this type of video, which I'm going to try and do. And then you post it, and then you can later, instead of just being present in the video, you watch the video along with your viewers. And so you can actually type and write to them and comment on your own video while you're watching it running. So that's what I intend to do with this one, because that was just a cool feature that I saw yesterday on Samantha Menzo. She was doing that with a deck that she had bought, a really cool, beautiful deck. And I thought, I told her, you know, how the heck is it that you're typing with us and you're on the video at the same time? So it's a new feature with YouTube. So that's what this is going to be. I'm going to have to edit this a whole lot, though. Anyways, so the story with the Smarties. Here's the story with the Smarties. I realized when I was a kid, as I'm going to try and wrap up stuff and talk to you. When I was a kid, I started realizing that, you know, if Santa brings all of the gifts on the night of Christmas, but all of the gifts have been kind of wrapped up and under the tree for like the last couple of weeks, how does it make sense then that Santa comes and puts the gifts under the tree when they're already actually there? So we had French doors at the time, and to look into the living room and see the Christmas tree. So I went and counted all the gifts underneath the Christmas tree, and I was 7 children and 2 parents, and gift giving back then, well, you know, everybody gave to everybody, and I was the youngest, so there were a lot of gifts for me too. Anyways, it was a full tree, but I counted them all, and I sat there and I watched, and I wanted to see when Santa would come, because I wanted to see how, if he was going to put any additional gifts or how this whole thing worked. And I know that I was younger than 9, just because when we moved out of that house, I knew I was summer that I was 9, we moved out of that house, so I was younger than that. Anyway, so yeah, this video is going to be about babbling. If you want to kind of just listen to this while you're doing your dishes or something, this is not going to be much of an educational one. It's just going to be about chatting. So here I am wrapping up the Smarties, right? Okay. So somebody came along and asked what I was doing there, and I explained to them, you know, I'm waiting for Santa to come because the gifts are all there and I want to see. And so they started talking to each other, some brothers and sisters of mine, I don't remember who. And they were saying, oh, she's figured that out already. Well, you see, the thing is that all the gifts are empty. And Santa comes and he fills up the things we say, right? He comes and fills up the gifts. And I said, no, I shake them all. And I know that there's stuff inside them, so we'll see. And I was told, well, there's some of them that are filled up, and there's some of them that aren't filled up. So Santa's only going to be filling up the ones that are empty. And to be sure, then I was told Santa's not going to come unless you go to sleep. And I thought, you know what? I have to be good all year long. And just because I don't go to sleep or fall asleep before Santa comes at midnight, I could lose being good for an entire year. Santa sounds like a bit of a wanker. Of course, I didn't use the word wanker back then, but I wasn't really impressed. So, anyways, I was starting to develop abstract thought at a much younger age, I suppose, than predicted. Anyways, so the other thing that I noticed, how does this relate to Smarties? You may or may not be asking. Well, if I can remember to tell my story before I'm done. I also noticed that no matter what, I was always sat in front of the Sears catalog to put X's or stars beside the gifts that I wanted. And I started getting really frustrated with that after a couple of years, because if I only put one X beside one thing, I wouldn't get it. And if I put like a lot of X's beside a lot of things, I wouldn't get them. So, like, it just seemed to be the Sears catalog, the wish book exercise that I would go through every year was a bit futile, and I got really fed up with it. This is all, of course, before the age of 9. So this one year, I decided, that's it. I know exactly what I'm asking for. And here it is. And I asked for Smarties. That's it. All I want for Christmas is Smarties. That's all I want. I'm not asking for anything else because I never get it. So if there's no Smarties, then there's no Santa. But I let it known that I wanted Smarties. Well, that year I got a great big box, flat box, and there were pajamas. I'm like, oh my God, pajamas. My girls roll their eyes up too, because when they were young, I got them pajamas too. And I'm like, oh, pajamas. And I opened up lifted over the pajama, and I remember specifically there was a great big box, like a box like, I don't know, 6 times the size of this one, like that, like big, of Smarties. Of course, I was a kid, but it was a much bigger box than this. It was like an impressive one. So that is my Christmas story of Smarties, because for me, that showed that, oh, Santa actually got me Smarties. The following year, I ended up making a letter to Santa, and on my way to church with my dad, we crossed the street and put the letter in the mailbox. And he said, here, give it to me, and I'm going to go and put it in the mailbox. I said, no, Dad, I'm going to put it in the mailbox myself because I want to see that it gets in. He says, no, you wait for me here, and I'm going to go and put, no. This was my experiment, and I didn't want him to confiscate my letter. I wanted to have my letter go to Santa, and I was going to put it in the mailbox myself. He says, you might not get what you want, you got to put it in there in a very special way. You might not be tall enough. And I said, that's okay. I want to put it in there myself, and I did. And of course, that was my letter to Santa. It was a secret this time that nobody else was going to know what I was asking for. And of course, that year was the year when I was probably, I guess I was 8. Because of it was the Christmas where I was 9. It was a Christmas where I was 9. Because that was the year where I stopped believing in Santa. Yeah, because my experiment showed that when nobody knows what I want, first of all, if everybody knew what I wanted, I didn't get what I wanted. If nobody knew what I wanted, then I didn't get what I wanted. Except for those Smarties. That one, everybody knew what I wanted. So I got it. So I was a bit of a scientist. That was me as a child being a scientist. So, we might tell kids, you want what you want when you want it, and you're being very articulate about it. And but for me, it was more of an experiment than being selfish. I really wanted to see what the relationship was between requesting something from Santa and actually getting it, and who might be involved. So there we go. That was my experiment. And I have 2 boxes. And it's a good thing we have the dollar store, because we can get a whole lot of stuff I'm just going to show you some of the cool features that I got from my girls, because some of them are like from the buck store, but some of them are not. Like a lot of them are from the dollar store, right? Because they have really cool stuff. But this is one. This is Walmart. Now this is a really cool thing they had in the craft section. I really like this one because you see here, I'm going to give you a bit of a close-up. They're charms. Now the quality of the chain is, I don't know what the quality of the chain is. I don't think that they're probably going to be really that great, but you have your own chains. You can even put leather if you don't mind using leather, or anyways, you have your own chains and ribbons and strings and stuff, twine. But it's these things that are the nice feature. And if you can't quite see what they are, you see here you got like a little bit of a glass, or I don't know if they're glass, but plastic sort of covering. And then you have the charm, so you could put your own picture in it. And I thought that might be a nice way for her to receive a gift, because she loves BTS. Oh my God, she's just bananas about BTS. So she wants to make jewelry about, BTS. And I'm not going to buy name brand stuff. And it's not, BTS, she's been into it for a few years now. It's a Korean band. It's K-pop. It's a Korean band for people who don't know yet. Anyways, I'm not going to buy the name brand stuff because, like, I have bills. So I choose where my dollars go. But she could put her favorite picture of some BTS guy. I know she's got her favorite one, but she could even change the picture of BTS that she puts in these things and make her own locket and wear whatever she wants. So that is a really cool feature. The other thing is that she could put a picture of herself in them. She now has a chum, a little boyfriend, kind of seems to be a pretty cool young man. Anyways, so she can put, I'm not telling him that that's what you're getting. I'm just saying these are possibilities. Or she can make a charm for her father, like of herself, so that maybe I don't know if he would want to wear that. Anyway, it gives options, and she's not obligated. If you watch this video later, my child, you are not obligated to give any of these away. I'm just saying, these are really great ideas for Christmas or for any time of the year. If you want to not spend a horribly large amount of money, and this also gives away so that she can be creative and express herself, which is also really cool. In the end, if she doesn't really want them, or doesn't make use of them, or gets tired of them, then you can dress them up, and maybe they can become like ornaments to either make, ornaments in your window or to decorate your Christmas tree. So, yeah, I like broken jewelry and stuff that don't really match and stuff to decorate the Christmas tree. It makes it a little bit more individual. So this is a really cool gift, I thought. Gift idea. All year round, it would be a good idea. What's another? This one, of course, I'm an educator, so I really like educational toys. And this was a dollar store find. So, we need more useful things. Now, of course, this is, again, plastic, and I would prefer for this sort of plastic to be a biodegradable type. We don't have that, so I'm making the call out, on a video. But this is a lovely learning toy. This here, you have to assemble it, paint the pieces, put things together. I know my oldest daughter had her planets all created. She made all of her planets, and then we figured out like the light bulb on her ceiling. She hung the planets from her ceiling, with that sticky kind of putty, and you just kind of stick it to the ceiling and dangle it down with a string, and then we hung the planet, right? So the center of her ceiling was the sun. And then she hung all the planets. She figured out where the planets would be in relation to the sun, and she made a solar system on her ceiling. So there's an educational kind of a creative idea for you if ever you wanted to have one for your kids. But of course, the challenge was you want to have to put some kind of putty up there that's not going to damage the ceiling. But our strings were a little bit weighty. They were very kind of heavy, and so they kept on falling down, and the planets were plastic, so they kept on bouncing. They didn't break, but that's a bit of a challenge you'll have to sort of get around. So if you want to have a more permanent fixture, maybe you want to, screw in some little holes or something. But anyways, solar system on your ceiling when you're falling asleep. And these little planets, actually, they were, those ones were not painted. Those ones were glowing. Those were glowing. So they would pick up the light from the ceiling lamp, and then they would glow at night. So that was kind of cool. This is another idea on the same theme. So it's sort of pre-arranged so that you can see the distance in relation to the sun for each planet. This I'm always going to be kind of glancing over and looking at their studies too, because although I don't know a lot about astrology, astronomy really does interest me, and everything is a learning curve for me, right? I want to know everything about everything, so that's interesting. This is a good gift because I say so. These ones are other really awesome ones. I got these. Of course, these are other Walmart in the craft section. So, painting your own rock and painting your own rock. This one's a tie-dye kind of a kind and kind of a type. And this one has like a water theme. So, kids can really enjoy that. I also, of course, if you see me popping up every once in a while, it's because I have all the gifts sort of piled up in different, who's getting what in each pile. This one may only be, a dollar store one, but this is a really awesome thing. It's a day timer, and I think at a very young age, children should be learning how to organize their time. So this is a day timer. This is how organizing your time is really important. So that is going to be in their gifts again this year. However, I'm going to be writing down a lot of stuff. These are going to be their day timers kept kind of in a common area in the house, not just tucked away on their shelf this year. This year it's going to be, Mom's going to be writing down stuff. So your swimming lessons, the dates that your stuff is due at school. If you have a project like doing a model of a cell, and how many days we have. And those things are really important for kids when you're looking at planning time, because especially if you have one child who's going to another parent or spending time elsewhere, you want to be able to know what weekends, if weekends are your time for shopping, what weekends you can actually go and buy supplies to do these projects, or what weekends you're going to have time to go and do things. If you have kids who are doing hockey 5 nights a week during the week, you're shopping on the weekends, right? So instead of super stressing your whole family about the to-do list, planning is really, really an important skill for kids. So that's going in their Christmas stuff. What else am I doing? I have bath bombs and some really creative, funky paper. Creative paper like this, my daughter is just going to go bananas on this. This is an awesome gift. This is going to go over so well, right? For that daughter. Is there anything else? I really, really promote creativity. So my one daughter really, she requested canvas and easels, not easels, but canvas. These things, to paint. So I don't know what she's going to be painting, but she's going to be painting stuff. And both of my girls are very good artists. So, yeah. And then, this is just the tip of the iceberg. They each got their own little container for their crafts. So they can, and it has a handle on it, so they can carry it from their bedroom to the dining room table if that's where they want to work and do their homework, or to the living room if they want to watch TV while they're coloring. And inside their craft container, they have some similar things and some different things. So, of course, I have all of the pencils and coloring pens and stuff like that. But I also have some interesting finds, bath bombs, erasers that are little purple unicorns. That's particular to this daughter, and the other one has special stuff for her because special stuff to her. And you can get a lot of this stuff is like bookstore, right? So she's got, but of course she likes BTS, so I've decided to get her, instead of buying her the BTS stuff. I'm getting her these letters that she can paint. They're like, not wood, but they're like, well, it looks biodegradable, whatever this is, like a cork, a hard cork kind of a thing. So she can paint and dress up and put sequins on it or whatever. These are letters that are 3D that say BTS. There you go, BTS. So she can organize that for herself. Of course, a wallet, because a sparkly wallet is very important. Another wallet, because she's been kind of losing things this year. Skincare, you know. So these are, some of the things are similar, like these gel pens in both boxes, but you also want to get things that are kind of individual for your children, of course. I certainly do, because if you're getting the exact same thing as everybody else, that's not a lot of fun, right? Of course, if somebody else is getting some stuff and you're not getting them, then so again, the headache of Christmas. So I figure if I don't really have to buy stuff for Christmas, but if I feel like I have to, then I'm going to do it, you know, to make it make sense. The other thing that I got for I have one girl who's just so into Littlest Pet Shops and any kind of character. She's also, but both of them are artists, but she's always drawing like eyes and faces and figures and stuff. So not only did I get her some paper and some supplies that way, but since I'm on that theme, I should show you. I got this book. Now, I've done this before where I got them books to how to do stuff, like how to draw and how to whatever, and of course they just get put on the shelf. So I'm hoping that this will be something that she actually uses, and if not, then we'll be bringing it back. But it's called Figure It Out, and it's all about figures. So this book shows you step by step, you know, how to proportion your figures, kind of thing, right? That's and it's age appropriate. I mean, you see the advertisements in the back are so yeah, the advertisements are for their stuff. So you want to kind of get the angle and the proportions and how to, you know, there's a drawing, and this is something that both of my girls can actually use, even though I'm giving it to one. And if it becomes a problem, I can always get another one later, whatever. But this also with her love for little figurines, she has like just a ton of those LPS, those Littlest Pet Shops. So I got, and again, dollar store, I got a bunch of these. And what I mean by a bunch is like a bunch of different sizes. So there's these short ones, and then there's the longer ones. And I'm going to mount them all with these little clips onto her wall in rows. Now, I've been wanting to do this with Kleenex boxes and just sort of make a makeshift shelves and stuff, but not only is that going to look really junky, the thing is that I've been meaning to do that for at least a year now, and it's still not done. And I'm just piling up some empty Kleenex boxes in my house that it's not happening. So this I'm going to mount, and she's going to put all of her Littlest Pet Shops on here, and she has a large space on her wall that's empty, and we'll house these very much over her bed. And I think she's going to just be over the moon with her new space to play with her Pet Shops and how to display them. And instead of just tossing them in the box where the heads come off, and you know, it's a bit of a challenge, and she really does cherish these things a lot. So I think that this gift is really going to matter to her a lot. So yeah, a lot of this stuff has just been about going to the dollar store. And some of them are not. Some of them are Walmart. So it's really not like buying one gift that is like $500. You know, I did spend more than I should, but I think I put a lot of thought into the gifts that I do have. Now, I didn't show everything because there's some stocking stuffers and stuff that are just, you know, like this. This is a coloring doodle thing that you get. You know, and I think they're really going to enjoy using these doodle pads. And then there's mazes and the kind of stuff that you always see at the, you know, that are at the ready. These are white paper, again, packaged in plastic. So I didn't show you absolutely everything, but the thing is that despite the fact that I didn't spend a whole lot compared to other people, and this happens every year, I spend more than I should have for me. And I wonder why I do that. And I know that it's something that's very, very common. And I know that it's something very common because we talk about it. We're all shopped out. I was joking with the the guy behind the counter and saying, you know, I'm going to look at my credit cards and I'm going to say, yeah, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And why do we do this to ourselves? That's not what we're supposed to be doing at Christmas. And I tend to really kind of look at other holidays as being more important, more pagan holidays, more earth-centered holidays. I try and really sort of adopt more environmental concerns. And yet we do find ourselves in this sort of like an imposed hypocrisy now, isn't it? But nothing is imposed. I'm buying everything by choice, right? I really am. I'm buying everything by choice. Nobody's holding a gun to my head and saying, you have to. And yet when I go to a store and I feel like, okay, I'm going to have to buy something for Christmas, for this one and this one and that one, and I start hearing them arguing in my head, oh, why did she get this one and I want that one? Or that's not the right color because I want, you know, between this color and that color, that's blue and that's green and that's, you know, and you just, I'm hearing all of the feedback from the people who I'm shopping for, and just it's mind clutter to feel obligated to buy the right gift for people. And really, if it was something that was so important, they'd probably buy it for themselves. So in that way, I guess thoughtful things are more important. So businesses do rely on Christmas as being the time where they're going to make so much more money. They depend on us, so they market it, and it's so engineered to... It's not just gifts, it's the food you serve while people are opening their gifts and you welcoming them into our homes. So, you know, every year I go through this sort of a struggle. I think, this is not the first time I've had this sort of thought going through my mind, you know. What am I going to do next Christmas? And it's going to... I want to celebrate Yule. I want to celebrate more earth-centered, like solstice. I want to celebrate time that's more meaningful, I think, for me than the commercial part of Christmas. And we say this to ourselves. We have movies about this sort of a theme, and yet here we are every year. So what I think I'm going to do more of is crafting. I really do enjoy doing crafts. I do enjoy coloring. I enjoy reading. I'm not going to be reading anything for anybody else. That's not going to do much good. I can read and make decent book reviews and summaries, and I can give that to you. But this is one idea that I'm going to be doing this year. So I picked out somebody's favorite colors, and I'm going to make a bracelet. And that's probably going to be the limit of crafting that I do for this year, because by the time I finish wrapping this stuff and get ready for, you know, the 25th, that'll be that for this year. However, what I'm planning on doing is, now I have 12 months to craft up different things for next December. I think I'm going to make small bracelets. I have some people who I want to give things to, and instead of making earrings for them, because they're not going to wear earrings that are not, high-end jewelry, I might make an ornament for their tree, but craft it with beads. And so that might be an idea for you. I think if anybody were to receive, and I'm not talking about your kids who are expecting this, that, and the other thing for the end of the year gifts, but, instead of spending $10, $50 or whatever it is that you spend to give at the office or to give to the neighbors or to give to all the things that you feel obligated to give, an idea would be to make something yourself. And that can be canning some of the vegetables that you grew in the garden, or just canning vegetables in general, making jams, using beads to create something that they can put on their tree to celebrate something that is meaningful to them. Just do something that's perhaps more, you don't have to knit them an entire sweater. But I know that I've had clients who have handmade me stuff like oven mitts or a pot holder, a face cloth. There was somebody else who actually went into the forest and got what she called changa. Now it's changa tea. You've heard of changa tea? So it's changa. It's like stuff that you get off the birch bark from. You have to know how to collect it. So she put it in a bag, in a mug, and wrapped it up. And that was my Christmas gift. And I will forever remember her for that, because you can't get any more thoughtful than that. That is just so, so beautiful. Like, I have mugs of my own. Even had she just given me the changa itself for Christmas, for her, she was offering it to me for Christmas. That was beautiful. And then she had written up what it is and how to use it. There's a lot of really healing properties with this changa tea. So, and she had gone and collected it from birch trees in the area. She knows where to go and how to collect it. And so I learned stuff that year about changa. And so those are the sort of things that don't really cost a lot, but that are very meaningful. I also have a friend of mine, long-term friend of mine, and I know that for Christmas we are going for a long walk along the lake to just walk on the crispy snow, and that is our Christmas gift to each other, is the time it takes in our busy lives to just spend an hour walking as far as half an hour takes us and then walking back and just catching up on stuff. So yeah, I do really want to support all of the environmental issues that I embrace. I also feel caught up with all this obligatory gift giving, and I admit that I'm not very good at saying no when it comes to buying stuff for my children. I do try and put some thought into it, though, and get things that they're going to use and things they're going to learn from. But I do want to feature this awesome wrapping paper. Look at this. Can you actually see it? I'm going to have to, let me just see. I'm going to have to unwrap it. I'm going to do some editing. That's what I'm going to do. Look at this. How Canadian is that? I love it. Love it. Here. Look at that one. Isn't that so much fun? Look at all the animals. I love it. Okay, look at this one. Oh, the gingerbread houses. With more animals. A moose. A bear. Oh my God. This, you shouldn't feel obligated to give gifts. And yet we get excited when we see things and we buy them. We got to do something about this conundrum. Look at this. So for me, apparently the wrapping paper is the gift. For me, I get excited about the wrapping. Who gets excited about wrapping paper? I do. Okay, this is plastic. Okay, look at this. Ooh, what are those? Oh, these aren't rainbows. I was wondering what rainbows were doing. These are earmuffs. Look, they're earmuffs. And you got little Christmas lights in there. And what's that thing? The blue thing. Oh, those are mittens. These are the blue bits. Those are mittens. Can you see the mittens with the little thumb and the blue tip? Totally Canadian, especially the maple leaf. Love our maple leaves. We have some pretty good symbols here in Canada. The loon on our loonie, the moose, the beaver, the bear, the maple leaf, and pine trees. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Okay. I bought this wrapping paper. I went there to buy wrapping paper. I needed it because I got rid of my Christmas stuff last year, thinking I wasn't going to be doing much this year again. Of course, now I have a YouTube channel, so I'm going to post some of the crafts that I want to do this year, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. And when I hold myself accountable to making things to give as practical gifts, you know, like when you want to give things for the teacher at the end of the year for your kids, or when the kids have like birthday parties to go to, or you have office parties, stuff that you never know what to get. And you can't get something. Buying a bottle of wine for somebody is not a neutral gift. Buying something with nuts, baking with nuts, not a neutral gift. Baking with white flour, what are you going to do with that? Not everybody can have white, gluten and food. Sometimes it is generally not a really good thing to do. See, look at all this plastic. This is all the plastic that I produced today. Anyway, so I think crafting. I think I'm going to have a few little times where I do some crafting, and maybe it'll be my channel tends to really focus on mental health primarily, how to stay healthy, and how to really anything where you're using your mind. The remote viewing and the meditation and the counseling kind of books, self-help books that I really, the self-help books that I look through, healthy eating, and then sometimes there's those social issues that come up where I want to advocate for somebody because I think, I really want to advocate for other people. It's just like a gut reaction, like putting things, there's these social issues that I want to chime in on as well. But I think part of being healthy and maintaining your own mental health is putting yourself into crafts, coloring. These adult coloring books are really important. Talking to friends, crafting can also be a way that you maintain your mental health, keeping your mind occupied so that you're not just staring at an internet, for all the time. No, you don't get to climb in front of the camera. My cat wants my attention. Don't you? You do. You want to come. You want to come. Come. There we go. Look at my big fluff. Look at his tail. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, he's so beautiful. I just love this cat so much. I do. I love you. My fuzzy bucket. My fuzz bucket. Yes, you are. You're not even looking at me. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to continue wrapping my presents so I can bring some joy to people. Hopefully. And, yeah. So if you have some ideas of crafts that we can do together and sort of motivate each other to maybe make thoughtful gifts for next year, let me know in the comments below. If you have some ideas for gift giving this year, I mean, today's the 22nd, so it's on short notice. It may not be the best thing, but you know, you could call up somebody, and most people are fairly mature in thinking and would accept saying, you know, for Christmas this year, why don't we go and take a walk and enjoy the sunshine? Why don't we go and have a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever, someplace together, or have some tea at my house, and I'll invite you. I've set up a few things. I've done some baking, cooking, whatever, and I'll just spend some time with you. We can play cards together, and that just spending time with you. And if you kind of couch it in a way that, you know what, I'd like to have something from you for Christmas, and that's your time. Can you come and spend some time with me this afternoon or Sunday afternoon, or after all the hustle and bustle of the holidays have been done? Maybe you can come and spend some time with me, and I'm inviting you over. And maybe even put the invitation in writing, you know, pretty writing, and put that in your Christmas card. I'm inviting you on the Sunday. Let's touch base. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought to give a little chat with you. Mostly it was about the wrapping paper. That's what kind of got me excited. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to do a whole lot of editing to this video so that we can do a live chat together, and I can write along with you when I watch the end product and when it gets posted. Take care. I'm so glad that you came and spent this time with me, and do spend some really wonderful holidays with the people you love. Hopefully you won't spend too much money. Spend a lot of time with the people you love. Take care.